You're like, it's you. You get shot a couple of times, you get the views. I mean, buy Bitcoin. So if you believe in something and you think it will help you and it will help the world as well, I think you should keep going at it until you see some results, which will motivate you more, give you success.
So amazing. Well, Alex, welcome to the show. Yeah.
Hello, everybody.
An applause.
So this is
Good to be here.
Amazing prankster. Alex, I do want to ask you, right? Let's jump right into it. Let's get right into it.
Let's do it.
Alex, your very first prank pretty much was you wearing the masks, right? The original masks and running around.
It wasn't me.
People. Okay,
it wasn't me. It was my best friend. I wasn't brave enough to do that yet.
All right.
So I put my friend in the mask. I'm like, if you die, I mean, it's cool. But if you don't, then we have a viral video. Video in particular did not go viral, but we learned a lot. So
right, amazing.
Before we get into all of this,
it's the gas mask, right?
Ellie, I know you're very
It's the gas
excited.
mask. Yeah.
Everyone's very
Yeah.
excited, but let's give Alex the opportunity to introduce himself to the world, to let the world know who you are and what you do.
okay, so basically, I'm Alex Stifler. I'm a prankster in HowAboutBeirut. We prank people on the streets of Beirut. We made it globally with 500 million views worldwide.
That's a lot of views.
Now,
You got some plaques behind you. You have some badges.
we got the plaques.
Congrats.
Now I like.
That deserves some award, dude.
Thank you so
Honestly,
much.
Our goal is to reach one of those one day.
Filming on the streets of Beirut and uploading on YouTube and making it that successful, that's really
Yeah.
you guys-
Nobody said.
Love
Nobody
watching
believed that's possible. I'm like, I'll prove you wrong, and that's what I did. So it's cool. Now I'm teaching the same stuff. What got me there, I'm teaching it to my community, back to Lebanon, giving back, paying it forward.
Perfect. You can teach us maybe something.
Is your name actually Alex Stifler?
Yes.
Perfect.
Last name is not, but I will not reveal it yet. I will reveal it when I hit 100,000 subs on my personal channel.
Amazing.
Because I was like,
Love it.
Stifler, wait, where did I hear that from? And then I realized where, and I was like, oh.
The American Pie. It's American Pie.
Exactly.
I got that name when I was like 15 because I used to act like Stifler, and it kind of stuck with me.
I mean, not bad. So we did the How About Beirut episode, but it was fully in Arabic. So this is a good opportunity for the people who want to know what that episode was
Right.
about, and they don't speak that language necessarily. Today is your day. Enjoy this episode.
Right.
Back to pranking, right? So, was there ever a time you were worried when doing a prank, that the reaction might be a little bit, overboard, like someone pulling a knife or a gun or?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, at the beginning, I was scared. I was a shy person, dude. I was like introverted. I didn't know how to talk to people. If somebody looks at me, I look away. So I always had these thoughts running around my head. But like, our kind of pranks were not like extreme, and we were like always nice to people, and like we would know if somebody tries something like ru, it's like calm down in Arabic, and usually they don't calm down, and that was a problem. But that's another story. But eventually, nothing happened. People always told me bad stuff will happen, but nothing happened. People in Lebanon are not as bad as the media portrays them to be. They're actually fun people, and when they see a camera, they just calm down. They don't calm down on the route, but when they see the camera, like, oh, cool, I'm on TV. Hey, I'm gonna be famous.
I'm on TV.
Yeah. It's a prank, bro. It's a prank.
It's a prank. So, in YouTube, the pranking community had a tough and a rough spot, because a lot of them turned out to be fake. But you guys are not fake at all, right? So, that, like, when we talk about things like algorithm and CPM and all that stuff, did it affect you guys when the whole prank wars, let's call it, happened?
No, absolutely. On the contrary, we just blew up more because I don't know how YouTube separated our channel, but our channel was like given the green light to just blow up on the algorithm.
Amazing.
And like our pranks were genuine. We never made like the victim think that they're in danger or like do any fake pranks, and you can see in the reaction of the people that were genuine and stuff like that. So our pranks in nature are clean, and that's why we're good on YouTube. So far, so good. Thank you. YouTube, don't demonetize us. We love you.
I do want to say
rough spots with YouTube. It's funny.
we've had a rough spots with YouTube. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, they
Alex,
do that.
I've been watching your pranks for a very long time, like for years now, and I've seen how much your channels grow. So really amazing stuff. I do want to say what I love about your pranks is the characters. Sometimes you guys come up with amazing characters. First off, the gas mask guy, and then the mannequin character. I want to know the origins behind those two characters.
Okay, so the gas mask guy was okay. So that's how the whole channel has started. I'll just go to the backstory. When I was in Ukraine, I was going through my grandpa's basement, like in 2013, when the war in Syria just erupted and all this kind of stuff. And there was like, and Obama was saying that there's gonna be like gas war and stuff like that. So as I was going through the stuff in my grandma's basement, I found a World War II closet. I was opening it. I'm like, holy shit. That's a good ass gas mask, yo. I want to take it back with me. like I want to take it back. I want to take it back with me to Lebanon. Like, I mean, there's like a gas war happening and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, if you don't give it to me, I'm gonna die. Your favorite grandson's gonna die. And he's like, yeah. He's like, da, okay, you can take it. I'm like, okay, cool, thank you. So I took it. It was really hard to pass it through the airport. I got a lot of questions, like, are you gonna smoke with it? What are you gonna do with it? I'm like, I'm just taking it for protection.
It's a gas mask.
Exactly. Have you tried smoking the gas mask before? Anyway, so I took it here, and there was no war, and I'm like, okay, what do I do with it now? So the wave of the pranksters were just starting on YouTube, and like Vitaly's at TV and Roman Atwood were just getting big, and we're like, cool, let's do something like that. And we had the gas mask. So again, I put it on my best friend, and we shot the first video on like a low ass quality phone. And then, you know, it just kickstarted the whole process. And that's how the gas mask came into existence, and it just became the branding thing, you know?
Right.
And,
this was how long ago?
That was 8 years ago.
Wow.
Almost 8 years ago.
All right.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
arguably, I would say, one of your most famous pranks is the mannequin challenge.
Yes.
Right?
It is
guys,
the mannequin, definitely. Yes.
From what I understood
Invented
from
it.
Simon, you guys pretty much invented it,
Yes.
right? But
I'll tell you a small secret. No, we did not.
I love it.
we were not the inventors of it.
Okay.
However, we the one who
You made it
pioneered
famous.
with memes. We made it famous. So we saw like a prank, like some guys were doing a prank in the UK. You know, they got like a couple of thousand views. I don't know, but it was like so poorly executed. People were like, you know, screaming at people, and it was like annoying and obnoxious, and there was no like anything memes to it and stuff like that. So we're like, okay, let's take it, let's execute it in the most professional way, in the most like tactical way, and add memes to it, and then see what happens. And surprise, surprise, the internet love two things: memes and scare pranks. Put them together, and then you have like a whoo, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know what whoo is, but you get
Anyway, that story reminds me of a similar story that happened to me and some of my friends. So Ali's Hussein Ayad, right? So he had the same. So he had a similar gas mask himself, but it was more of a World War I replica. And it's basically there's like the rubber mask, and then there's like the massive metal container. Yeah. So we came up. We had the same concept back in high school with the gas mask thing. I wore the Palestinian thing that you wrap around your face.
Yeah.
And basically we pretended to assault one of our other friends.
Oh my god, that's a prank.
And we were doing it at we were doing it at night in the street parallel to Bliss Street. Yeah. So I remember one woman got so scared she just started screaming, and because she started screaming, some people on their motorcycles started chasing us, and we just started sprinting. It's like, oh god. It's like, no, I don't want this. Yeah, right. And then we never did it again.
That is true.
Yeah, you have to be very careful. You know, you got to be very careful with the pranks in Beirut.
So let me ask you this hard
question. You want to tell us why?
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you do Saeed's kind of pranks, you're gonna get in trouble, you know.
At night as well. I was like, yeah.
It's really
Especially
like, time
at
and
night.
place is everything.
Yeah.
Say time and place and everything. So
Absolutely.
Time and place.
Definitely.
Yeah, we were in a shady alleyway.
I agree with Ali.
yeah.
I agree with Ali.
So let's talk a little bit about time and space, right?
Yeah.
Is there anywhere in Lebanon you refuse to film, like you will not film there?
Yeah, I mean, have you heard about Dahi?
I knew it.
Oh God.
Do I need to say more?
That's amazing. Do I need to say more?
You
Yeah.
just wanted to hear it from me, Ali. I know you.
I honestly don't. I only know Beirut in Lebanon. And that's
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
No, but Dahi is like a ghetto area, you know. It's like the ghetto areas in Los Angeles. Like you don't want to go there, you know, and do pranks,
You
especially.
can get some insane reactions, though. You could probably get some amazing reactions. If you're
Definitely,
But is it worth the risk?
definitely. You get shot a couple of times, you get the views.
True. But guns don't do
I wouldn't
well on
risk it.
YouTube, by the way.
Yeah. I
Also-
wouldn't risk it. Like if you know, if the victim per se pulls a gun on me, I'd like to scream, and there's cops nearby. In Dahi, there's no cops nearby. You
That is
know,
true.
there's
That's
like
a
just
fact.
more ghetto people. So,
Right.
Right. So time and place is everything, right?
Definitely.
Did you guys ever consider faking pranks, like full honesty, full like for reactions?
Yeah, we
Faking
considered it. Yeah, definitely.
That's a
We
great
considered
question.
it. We considered it. But again, our values, we look back at them like, no, we don't want to be like the other pranksters. We want to be different. We want to keep those genuine reactions coming because let's face it, it's so obvious when someone is faking it. Like it's
Yeah.
just too obvious and it's always cringe for us. We're like, you know what? Just number one rule, let's not break it. Let's keep going. We're doing so far so good. So let's keep it real. So yeah.
Yeah, because if
Right.
it wasn't obvious, that means they would probably they would be winning Oscars or something for their acting skills. They wouldn't be here in Lebanon.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right, pretty much. I mean,
By the way,
speaking
also like so we've been talking about the origins of your pranks, but we don't know the origins of How About Beirut. Like so I know that you and Jad are the founders.
Yes.
So how did that come to be?
So basically, we wanted to do the prank channel because we saw these other big YouTubers on the platform. And, you know, the name, we just had a list of bunch of names. Plan LB was one of them. How About Beirut was one of them. And those were like, we had a huge list and those two names were like the last two. And then I just flipped the coin like, okay, cool. How About Beirut it is.
Actually,
And how did you meet Jad? Like, how do you know Jad?
Oh my God, I know Jad from the 4th grade. I used to bully him a lot in school. So he remembers me from those days. And then I bullied him a lot during recess. I don't remember him at all. He remembers me. And then from after 4th grade, he left school. He just went somewhere else. And then at high school, at graduation somewhere, we were both bad at school. So we were like at college, special college to take more classes, to go and do the official exams in Lebanon. So we met there again, and he's like, and I was sitting at the end of the desk and he was sitting at the end of the other desk, and he just started looking at me like that. It's you. I'm like, what? You're like, it's you. I'm
I
like,
remember.
me? You're like, yeah, you're Alex. You're like the one that used to bully me and shit. I'm like, yeah, cool. I'm like, let's be friends. You're like, yeah. I like, yeah, I don't know. Like, and then I drew something on the wall. It was like it was the poker face. You know, 9gag was just starting, I think. So I drew a poker face on the wall, and turns out he's a huge 9gag fan. So we bonded on 9gag. Then we became competitive a lot. Like, who's better than who? And then at the end, we're like, you know what? Let's just be friends, and let's put this all behind us, and just see if we can create something. And yeah.
Amazing. Wow, it's backstory.
But how about Beirut, and how did you come across Simon?
Simon, how did we come across Simon? I think he approached. Oh yeah, we needed an actor. We need an actor for one of our pranks, and Jad, I believe, started looking for some people on Instagram, and Simon came somewhere in the newsfeed, and he's like, Alex, this guy is perfect for the prank. Let's get him. I'm like, sure, why not? We always get pranks. We always get a lot of actors and actresses, and the ones who prove themselves and they're like really good on camera and they're responsive and easy to work with, we just keep them and we just keep featuring them and having them on. Another one is also Jessica Casurene, but she became a thing of her own. She doesn't need us anymore. So yeah.
All right.
She branched out. Yeah.
Alex, I do want to know, you said when you were telling us your backstory, I was really curious about some things. First of all, like how long you've known Jad for. Like me and Ali, for example, have known each other from the 4th grade, pretty much.
No.
So it is really interesting to me. How long have I
Younger.
known you, Ali? From
6.
Younger,
I
pretty
was,
much.
I was 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Right.
We know each other from the 4th grade.
Wow.
If you wanna count the bullying part of meeting
okay.
him.
Yeah.
But when
And-
we became real friends, it was high school. So that was like almost 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm. And Saeed also, I've known Saeed since high school. So like we've been friends also from a
Nice.
very long time. So I'm curious.
Since
what you-
grade 9, around grade
Right.
9. Yeah.
Is it fun for you to just make like videos with your high school friends, like many years, like now?
Yeah.
Are you happy that you're doing it with
yeah.
your old friends? Yeah.
Hell yeah, for sure. I mean, it's always fun to do things with your best friends, because everything's transparent, everything is easy. Business is business for sure, but the friendship, everything you've been through, you can always find that common ground, and it's easy. It's much easier to work with.
Yeah, but how do you
Yeah.
separate business from friendship? Because the one advice,
That's the tricky part.
the one advice,
That's the tricky part.
that's like what the one advice you always hear whenever you want to start a business is you never do it with a friend, right, or a family member, because it's
Yeah,
hard to
yeah.
separate. But like, and thank God you guys seem to be doing all right. So how do you what's your advice?
We just don't mix the two things. We just keep it real. We just keep it like down to earth. Like, like right now we're talking business. This is not me, Alex, talking to you, Jad as a best friend. I'm talking to you as a business guy, as a partner guy. So we need to find a common ground, do this, do that. Like there's like, you don't have to feel bad. I don't have to feel bad. This is business. This is how we do it. We're just privileged to be best friends, but it doesn't mean that we have to put friendship into it. So we just separate the two things, and it's like a clear line, and that's how we just keep going.
Interesting.
I have a
That's
question.
amazing.
Do you feel like so for what I already know and I understand is okay. So first of all, I want to say is like you graduate with 3 degrees, right? With marketing and computer science and I think finance. Is that am I correct?
You've done your research, sir. Yes, except finance.
Yes. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a detective, so I like investigating.
Nice, nice. Detective.
So yeah. So and I'm guessing Jad is more of into the other direction, right?
Yes. So we both were doing computer science, and then when we started to see results with the YouTube channel, we just switched majors. I went marketing.
Oh, wow.
I went radio,
Wow.
editing, TV. So I'm like, cool. I'll do the marketing part. You do the directing part, and we just combined the two, and that's how it worked out. Yeah.
Yeah, because like a previous guest, I remember mentioned a similar concept about if you want to be a partner with someone, you gotta have different don't go into business with someone who has the same qualities as you or like is in the
Yes.
same field as you, because that
Sure.
basically you're just hiring yourself, and that doesn't
For
really
sure.
work.
For
So,
sure.
I
You
feel
need
like-
to have someone that will complete you. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, exactly. So your dynamic is basically based on that concept where you guys complement each other.
Yes. That's correct.
Yeah.
Amazing.
What's the question? I don't understand.
We all compliment. No, it's an interesting
it's not. It's
to
just
point out.
It's just a point
okay,
to come up
yeah.
with.
Yeah.
I
Not
do
everything
have,
is a question from me, man.
but you're doing
That's a golden nugget for the viewers.
golden nugget.
Yes.
Alex, you're doing all this in Lebanon, out of all places. So like, going back a little, you said that you weren't that great in school. You're taking extra classes in school, both you and Jad.
Yep.
But for some reason, you're able to be like brilliant at YouTube. In Lebanon, if you're not doing great in school, they say you're doomed to failure forever, right? And if you're doing film or marketing or business in school, they think you're doomed forever. So,
Yep.
how did you get past that? Everyone was.
I mean, I always done the opposite of what people told me. It always worked out. Always like this. Like whatever the crowd is doing, you just do the opposite. It will serve you well in life, always. And I mean, of course, I heard a lot of like lectures from my parents and from other family members telling me, "You're doing the biggest mistake of your life. Like you're doing this and that. I will kick you out of the house or whatever." and then look at me now, beep. Right?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Honestly.
No, I can completely agree. Yeah, like
So here's
sticking away from the norm is definitely a beneficial concept for someone,
Yeah,
especially if they want to.
I mean, if you have a dream, if you have a dream, and like it doesn't matter what you do. If you're getting closer to your dream, and you yourself, you know that you're getting closer, then no one's gonna tell you otherwise. I mean, I always have this rule in my head: never take advice from someone who's not doing what you want to do. You know, or don't never take advice from someone that you wouldn't trade lives with, right? So that's how I live by, you know.
That's an interesting point. Yeah, very true.
When I change my life,
I'm a little opposite. I'm like my whole taking advice views is a bit opposite to yours. For me, it's more like ask someone who couldn't do what you did because you understand their mistakes and you make sure you don't do their mistakes, right? So that's my whole perspective on that. Because for me, it's like, why didn't he do what I want to do? And he also wanted to do it to begin with, right? So what mistakes did that person do?
Yeah, but Ali, a successful person would also face mistakes in their lives as well. But I'm pretty sure since they got over those mistakes, they can ask them about it.
Yeah, but
so going on that point, Alex, what mistakes have you faced?
Yeah,
like in this field, in your own life.
You mean in YouTube or like in general?
Both.
Building your whole career path and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't look at them as mistakes. I would look at them as lessons. You know, every failure actually taught me something to get to this point.
Very true.
So like, so no regrets. You know, things that might have looked like a mistake back then don't look like a mistake right now. Because when you look back, you connect the dots. I'm like, okay, if this mistake didn't happen, then that wouldn't happen. It's just like a ripple effect, and then okay, I wouldn't be here. So it depends how you look at it. So yeah, I think yeah, there was no.
All right,
mistake.
tell us the lessons you learned, Alex. Then
You're not escaping this lesson.
yes, tell us some of the lessons. Do we want to learn? We're younger versions. We just want
Okay.
to get good at YouTube.
Okay, so the lessons. The number one lesson, and it's especially true on YouTube, is like you're gonna have a huge urge to quit because you're not gonna see views, you're not gonna see results, you're not gonna see traction.
Yes.
Nada.
Yep.
Nothing.
True.
And it's gonna keep going for a long time, you know. And many times I felt like, oh my god, I just want to quit. Maybe my friends are right, maybe my family is right. They've been warning me, they care for me, you know. And I was like, no, they just stick to my vision. You just stick to it. And then you keep pushing. And then eventually one video is going to blow up and it's going to blow up the whole channel with it. And that's when things start to happen. So that was a huge lesson. Consistency, stay the course, stick to your plan. Do not get emotional. It does get hard. It's supposed to be hard. And like after you go through that pain period, like in the industry we call it the pain period. After you go through that pain period, the other side of it is just all flowers and sun and everything's awesome.
Interesting.
All right.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll reach that point. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Do you think you could have done something different that could have changed how your channel is? Like maybe something you could have done in the past that would have helped bolster your channel into a whole different level of a success?
Yeah, I mean, I could have uploaded more. I could have tested more ideas. But then again, if I did that, maybe I would have done the other ideas. So it's like it's like a paradox. So you don't really know unless you split yourself into multiple parallel universes, and then you watch yourself in many experiments. Like, I want this, but hey, we don't live in this dimension. So I guess. It all worked out eventually.
We're not Rick to be able to access that kind of thing.
Yeah. I wish I was too.
Yeah,
I wish I was.
Rick and Morty. I'm rewatching it, by the way. I don't know.
We're watching the newest season, by the way. Yeah,
bro, it's really it's a very stimulating series. That's what I'm gonna say.
It's one of my favorite shows. It's one of my favorite shows.
It's mine too. I honestly like it a lot, Liz. But
so, Alex, was it your dream this whole time to make prank videos specifically? Was there kind of thing you wanted to do versus the kind of stuff you were making? Because I noticed, I do want to see, like, now you're doing more like scene work with some of the pranks, like especially this most recent prank. It's more like there are a bunch of pieces, and it's more like a scene, and you're filming it live. Versus some other pranks are just like, throwing things at people and laughing at people. You know what I mean? It's more like aggressive. But you guys trying to make a whole thing out of it. So what was your initial dream making the show?
So it was always in the realm of going global. So it was always like, I don't want to be famous in Lebanon. I don't want to be like famous in the Arab world. I want to be famous globally. And in order to do that, I started looking at other successful shows who are famous global. And one that always pops up is as Just for Laughs, the ones that make those clean, cool pranks, not much talking. They have usually a group of people with them, or like creative things that never hurt people. And that was like the general direction always. We wanted to take the channel to. And we just stuck to it. And that's what led to it. Of course, the memes, because we loved 9gag, was a huge addition that really boosted the whole process. And we won over the heart of the internet people.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that was always the vision, keep it clean, go global. Of course, I did test some other type of content. I know my girlfriend is not gonna like this, but I did test picking up girls. That was a
pranks.
thing. No, not that extreme. Not that extreme. Not that extreme.
Lebanon is still an Arabic country, Ali.
Not that extreme. I did those. I did pick up girls, but for the purpose of teaching other guys how to do it as well, so that was like the whole thing. So I had those two things going on, and then How About Beirut picked up roughly, so I had to drop the other one, and I'm like, okay, fully focus on this one. And that was
So like 30 minutes into this interview, few viewers did not notice yet, like there are 2 plaques behind him right now, right? So let's take a look at the
really
surprise, right?
Holy moly.
So how was it getting those plaques? Like, what was it like, and what was the process? And like, walk me
a week, it comes in the UPS, you sign it, and there you go.
It got to Lebanon.
Did they not tell you, like, by the way?
Yeah. I mean,
wait, did Libon Post or Aramex get them to you?
No, it was UPS. It was
UPS in Lebanon?
Box somewhere. Yeah.
Wow. Oh, okay. I hope
so.
Is their office still open?
I only saw them 2 times, and that was when they brought me the plaques.
So what was it like for the whole cast and everyone, when how did you know that you were getting a plaque?
Easy. When you hit 100,000, you get
Pretty much.
the small one, and then you get the million, you get the big one.
You're not getting the question is, they tell you, or they just send it to you, like out of the blue, like boom, here's your plaque. Like, what is it?
They just come knocking on your door. That's it.
Yeah, I mean,
don't they send you like an email? I'm guessing.
Do you mean like the feelings involved and the emotions and everything?
Yeah, walk me through, like, when you told them, hey, by the way, look what came in the mail. Or did they all know already that you were receiving it, or what's the situation?
Oh yeah. They already knew it's coming. I mean, like, they were bugging me at 95k subs. I'm like, 5k subs away from the plaque. And then 96, 4k subs away from the plaque. So they took all the excitement out of it. so once it arrives, I'm like, it feels like I had it for a month now.
Yeah.
By the way, something I also wanted to ask you about, Alex. So this is different from How About Beirut. So you and yourself, you're an influencer in your own way, and what's the path that you want to lead through that? Like, what are you trying to do as an influencer, and who are you trying to influence?
Yeah, so I'm basically trying to wake up people on the opportunities of the internet and what it provides. So like, I hated the 9 to 5. I hated the traditional systems. I always hated school. And this, for me, I know a lot of people are like me and they hate school and everything. So for me, making money online while doing what you love and doing your passion, it is the best feeling ever, really. So I'm trying to get that message across to people. It's not, the YouTube is not only for YouTubers and all, like it's anyone can do it if you have something to share with the world. It's not just entertainment as it was 10 years ago. Now it's educational. Now it's like you can do anything basically on YouTube. Have you seen the stuff going on the platform?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to tell people, especially in Lebanon, third world countries, you can make it on YouTube, you can make it online, you can make money, you can be free. You don't have to be connected to a boss or like go and live a boring life day after day. It's like, hey, it's a free world. The internet was a gift. I mean, our parents didn't have this opportunity.
Right.
We do. So
Wow.
like we should definitely do something with it. It's not gonna stay here forever.
Yeah, I'm really loving how every guest right now that we've been talking to lately is hating the 9 to 5 concept, the system that's taught to us in education, like
Pretty
in
much.
school.
Yeah.
And I really feel like we should just all unite, like tell the education system, please, like, okay, fuck off. We don't want you anymore. It's like we want a new system.
yes.
We want something
Yes.
that we can create.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, come on, Saeed, you have to agree. It's the biggest single ripoff. It's the biggest
It's a
scam
scam
of our century.
Yes, I
Cool.
agree.
Depends on what you're doing from 9 to 5, I'd say.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
there's some
I mean,
other-
I think the moment where people will wake up is when the college debt bubble will just burst into pieces and all colleges will have to force close and everything goes online. I think that's where people like, okay, cool.
Cool,
We're
man. Yeah, that
talking
wasn't
about the dream.
the dream.
Yeah.
And it will
Alex, but you have 3 degrees though, right? You have a bunch of degrees, right? And you went to school. Do you
Yeah.
think going to school for marketing was good, or do you think that maybe there were other
helped
ways?
you.
of
I mean,
learning?
I haven't
Yeah.
learned anything I could have just found on Google,
Wow.
But it was fun. I just went for the experience.
I love
I
it.
just went for the experience.
Yeah,
College and stuff like that. The people and the vibe and everything.
people.
And I just
Right.
want to prove that I can make it in college. And I had a relatively high GPA, and I was about to be put like on the list of the Dean of Business Hall of Fame, whatever. So I had like
Honors.
1 semester left, and I'm like, peace out, I'm done. So I didn't
Oh, you
finish my
you didn't
the
finish?
marketing degree. No, I did not finish the marketing degree. I dropped out the last semester. My dad was gonna kill me. I'm
What?
like, dude, trust me. I'm like, dude,
But you already
trust
had
me.
2 degrees.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, trust me, I got this. Like 3 years, just give me 3 years. He's like, no, that's a lot, dude.
Right.
So I'm
Wow.
like, all right.
3 years compared to the rest of your life, yeah, that's not a lot, to be honest. That's
I mean, did you
that's
not
very-
regret it? Not even a little bit that, last semester you would have had that degree
No.
for yourself? No,
No,
nothing?
not at all. Not at all. That was like that would have cost me. That would have cost me a couple more thou that I could have invested in crypto. So I'm cool with that.
Pretty much. Pretty much. Yeah,
True,
exactly.
yeah, it's also very-
So what did you do
Yeah.
in that 1 semester that you didn't want to continue in? Like, what was crucial about dropping out in that time?
I just went all in into YouTube. Me and Jal, we both dropped out at the same time, and we just went all in.
Wow.
After getting our first sponsor check from Kareem, which is like a Uber and Lyft in the US,
very
like an
aware of
Arabic
what
version.
Kareem is.
So once we got the first check, and it was the check of one video was more than our salaries combined together for a month. We just made that in a day. We're like, okay, school doesn't work. We're dropping out.
Damn.
Let's pay our school bills as well, like our student loans and all that. Like one check.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
It's crazy.
it's ridiculous. The whole system is ridiculous.
Okay, so let's take it a little bit back to the whole pranks and prank channel and everything. When it comes to planning for a prank, what are the key factors that you always have to consider whenever you... Okay, so here's a prank concept, right? Like, what do you think or take into consideration before you film it on set?
Okay. Yeah. So Jad usually he's the guy that comes up with like the details and the nitty gritty stuff of the prank. So if Jad was here, he would have answered better. However, from what we the pranks that we came up together is we just go with the general idea, the big one, and then we start looking for twists and and start looking for like how we can make variations of it, so that we always have the viewers in mind. So what did the viewer wouldn't expect in the prank like that, or what a viewer would like to see, and what this could capture, like what the news might talk, like if this video came out and someone from the news outlet saw it, would it capture attention in some way or another, so I don't know, I would say we go with the concept. A lot of pranks are inspired from other pranks as well. We just take the concepts, we spin it around, we add our own twists, maybe change up the ideas a bit, and then have our own. Then we have the original pranks as well. They just come out of the blue. We just we'd be sitting and like, oh, I just got an idea, and boom, and then the light comes up on your head, and Jad will explain the idea. I'm like, okay, that's a million views idea, and then we think about more. And then we think variations of like, okay, now it's a 10 million views idea, all right? So it's kind of like we take an idea, we take our time with it, we improve on it until we think it's ready to be shot, and then we go and shoot it.
Right.
How do you elevate from the 1 million to the 10 million view? Like, so let's say you have a prank, like the Frozen in Time prank, for example, right? Was that one of the first drafts you got of it, or did you really were thinking, okay, how can I make this more interesting for people to watch?
Yeah. So, So on set, we would sometimes we come up with extra stuff on initially it was just freeze, let's just freeze. But because you spend so much time on set, and we actually filmed this prank over 2 days, we started okay, we're sitting there, we're on the spot. What can we do now? What can we do? How can we add a variation? How can we do things? And we would just put them after each other, ideas. Sometimes, so the first day of the freeze prank in particular was monotonic, and then when we went home, we started thinking of more variations. We came out the next day, okay, we need to add this, we need to add that, and that, and that, and that to make it a full video. And pretty much.
I see.
Oh, I'm noticing in your pranks. Yeah, I'm noticing in your pranks that there's a lot of this idea of being frozen, they're staring or something in that wavelength. Is there a reason for that, or?
Yes. So basically, it doesn't require a lot of talking, which is good for the global audience.
Perfect.
There's also a thing on Facebook where if you speak anything other than English, they don't monetize your video. So a lot of elements together, we noticed the more where we don't speak in Arabic, where we keep it less conversation, more action. Please, 10 minutes conversation, baby. Sorry. So we just keep it like that, and we notice that they usually perform better than the ones where we speak Arabic. I don't know what's about the Arabic language, but when people hear, they just scroll past or just click off. Nah, I don't want to hear that.
Bad reputation.
So we notice they perform better.
Unintelligible. Genuinely,
yeah, kind of. But if the prank is really good, like the mannequin one, people don't care. They just watch it.
Because there's not a lot of talking in the mannequin challenge. It's just two mannequins there. One of them moves, the other one moves as well, and it's a shock factor, right? But when you have the more intricate pranks where you have to understand what's happening to understand the prank, I think that's where people start to lose interest. So
sure, absolutely.
These ideas lead me to the next question, right? What is the future for Alex as well as How About Beirut?
Okay, so where I see it going, we're gonna keep expanding globally for How About Beirut. We're not gonna stop here. I think we have always been thinking about stuff like a franchise. How about every city? We get how about Los Angeles? Genius. How about Paris? How about and we would have a team in each city that will film pranks that are follows our values and follows our vision, stuff like that. And it would be like a whole.
Ali and Ali, yalla.
I would definitely do a How About LA.
Awesome. Yeah, awesome.
I won't do.
I'm gonna keep you in mind.
won't work here. I promise.
I'll talk to you.
Pranks do not work.
And for
love
Alex,
pranks.
I think for Alex, I'm gonna stay the course. What I'm doing, I'm gonna be involved in How About Beirut in one way or another. It's like my baby. Can't let it go. And I would keep teaching people how to do the same. How to make it, how to make money online, how to make it on the YouTube platform. Because I feel like it's a crime not to teach. Like there's a lot of things that I know that definitely will help people reach their goals, and maybe they need that push, maybe to help them. Even if it can change one person's life, I'm cool. That's great. I
Do
don't
you
want
see yourself
anything
as a
else.
motivational speaker one day?
I wouldn't say motivational speaker. I'd be like more realist. I wouldn't like to be that motivational speaker guy, but I would like to be that guy that gives you the push to start your own thing and follow your passion online, make money online mostly. Maybe you can say like motivational / guru, but more of a guru. So yeah.
All right.
Well-
Yeah, life guru. Yeah.
All right. So you're interested in business and stuff, right? What are some other businesses you're interested in right now? I mean, we're talking about Bitcoin, for example. Are you interested at all in any of the crypto technology?
I'm a big believer in the blockchain technology. I'm investing in Bitcoin
Nice.
and other altcoins as well.
Amazing.
So yeah, I've been reading about it since 2013, 14, and I was like, wow, this is the future. Like this is what's gonna be the next thing. And
Alright.
surprise.
You have a good vision of the future, Alex. So you always get it. So can you tell us why do you think blockchain is the future, for example?
Because it's decentralized. That's like the biggest important thing. There's no power to a central authority. So let's say if you want to like this is how it's meant to be, right? So if like nothing can stop an idea. Let's say Uber, for example, right? Who gets most of the money? The company Uber itself, right? So we will essentially eliminate the middleman. You would eliminate the middleman out of everything, out of the Uber, let's say, out of real estate agents will be gone. The bankers will be gone. Anyone who is like a third person, who as the trust party, will be completely destroyed in the future because of the blockchain technology, and people will transact peer-to-peer with each other, and that by itself is revolutionary.
Right. We could use that in Lebanon for sure.
But wait, you said it would abolish bankers and stuff. But what about, for example, if you want to take a loan or if you want to have a bank account so you can save your cash?
That can be done on blockchain. There's something that has been worked on since 2017. It's called decentralized finance. And there's rules written and cannot be changed, like a program code and everything, where let's say I want to get a loan from Saeed, right? And he has a written set of rules, right? I just take directly from him and he's guaranteed to get it back because it's written in the code that he will get it back at this certain percentage.
Wow.
Even if I want to pay or don't want to pay. So the middleman is gone. Yep. So that's called decentralized finance. It also was booming like crazy in the summer. So everything is coming,
What do you think would
amazing.
be the negative outcome of the whole Bitcoin situation?
I think the negative outcome would be of the Bitcoin situation or like the blockchain situation in general.
The whole cryptocurrency situation and like as a whole.
I think is here to stay. I mean, before it might have been a speculative idea, even up to 2017 when the whole bubble burst. But now, since it's gaining a lot of corporate interests and there's like a lot of big corporations and institutions are interested in it as an asset class, I think it's here to stay. Even banks are creating their own like cryptocurrencies, so that gives you confidence in the future of it. It might destroy our old systems, what we used to know, like stocks and bonds and all these kind of stuff. That might go away out the window. And crypto will be the new financial standard,
Yeah, I actually agree with that. The virtual currency will take over at one point, but the problem is like third world countries and maybe even second world countries, they will have a difficulty catching up. So for example, Lebanon as a country we can take, they're gonna suffer drastically. I mean, if to the dollar they're having a high inflation rate. What would happen if the Bitcoin becomes like the main currency around globally? or it's like the main currency that the first world countries are relying on as the currency.
Yeah,
You know, so like,
yeah, I mean,
yeah,
in my
what you
personal
want to
opinion,
comment?
I think in my opinion, I'm sorry. I think in my personal opinion, I think that, you know, Bitcoin will not be a currency. It will be more like a financial reserve, as in the gold. You know, that's where you just keep your wealth in. You know, you just put it there, and it's like gold. You know, and every country would have their own digital currency backed by Bitcoin, right? Because
Oh.
you can't give Bitcoin to everyone. It's just there's so much limited supply, and if you give Bitcoin to everyone, it will be just way too expensive. So I think every country would have their own digital currency. You know, Lebanon is already working on the digital lira.
Oh, really?
Turkey working on the
Wow.
digital liras. Yeah. Russia is working on a digital ruble. Come on, in the US, they're working on also digital US dollar. That will come out in the summer, by the way. They're rolling it out in the summer. And we'll see how it goes. So the Fed that will give them more privilege to print more money digitally without the use of paper. So let's see how that goes. I don't know.
So wait, if the currency becomes
Say-
digitalized, yeah,
We're almost out of time, yeah?
okay,
To let you know. So last question. Let's do it.
Yeah,
sure.
All right, cool guys.
So if the currency becomes digitalized, and how does that work hand in hand with the cash currency? So like the hard,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, the Fed is not gonna come out and say like, "All right, our new currency is the digital dollar. All your cash is obsolete." No, I don't think that's what's gonna happen. I think it's gonna work hand in hand at the beginning, but they will discontinue it over time. For example, they will incentivize you to put your cash in the bank, and they will give you digital, in return. For example, like you have $100,000, you wanna we will give you a 20% return on that if you convert them to your digital dollars. Right, so that's a great deal. So I would go and do it, and that will, slowly but surely will remove the cash from the system and pump more of digital currency.
Amazing.
Well,
I do need to ask one question, Alex.
yeah,
since
do
you
it.
know this.
Okay, go ahead, man.
Alex, I'm the kind of guy that I like to do a bunch of different things at the same time, and I don't really get
Same
too
here,
much
bro.
results. All right, so I need so how do you select and pick even what do I want to put all my time in and focus on so that it can grow? Because for you, How About Beirut is what grew and helps you do all these things.
Yeah.
How do you know that was the thing to put your time in?
I mean, you for sure have to have your main thing. I mean, the reason if a project fails if you stop doing it, that's for sure, right? So you would have. I'm like you, right? So I like to do many things at once and see what works. I like juggling many plates in my hands, and if one falls, that's okay. I still have multiple more, rather than just holding one plate and oh my god, this is everything. No, So the ones that fall, let them fall, whatever. Don't try to fix them. And the ones that keep going, just put more time into it. And eventually, as time goes by, naturally you will feel what needs more time and what needs more focus and what other things can be automated or outsourced or delegated. So if you believe in something and you think it will help you and it will help the world as well, I think you should keep going at it until you see some results, which will motivate you more, give you success, and will push you to start other projects and stuff like that.
Perfect.
Well,
Thanks, Alex.
thank you guys for watching another episode of
My
A to the
pleasure,
Show. If
guys.
you guys enjoyed this episode half as much as we enjoyed filming it, please do like, subscribe, and share. We'll leave a link to Alex's social media in the description below. You can
YouTube,
go
How
check
About
him out. We
Beirut,
deeply-
link in bio. Check it out.
We really
Thanks,
want you
Alex,
guys
for
to
your
go
time.
check him out.
Yeah.
Alex, is there anything
Thank you
you'd
for
like
having
to,
me, guys.
Is there anything you'd like to shout out or let the world know?
I mean, buy Bitcoin.
Ready here first. Very
Not financial advice.
Not financial
Not
advice.
financial advice.
Not financial. You're gonna come after me. Yeah, exactly.
You're not responsible
to increase the demand. I see.
No.
Special thanks to our very own Saeed Jamal. We'll see you guys.
Thanks. Make sure to share if you like it and subscribe if you haven't yet.
Do that
Please
shit,
do
yeah.
that. All right.
Peace,
Yeah.
love, happiness.
Awesome show.
Yeah.